Troops and veterans have two big deadlines at the end of September that you should be keeping an eye on. We're just a few weeks away from a possible government shutdown due to a federal funding lapse, and the prospects for a new budget deal to avoid the stoppage are not looking good right now. House and Senate leaders in recent days have talked about a short-term budget extension until later this fall to keep government offices open, but they remain far apart on what a long-term spending plan should look like. Most federal agencies aren't talking openly about a shutdown yet, but they are already preparing for it. As with past shutdown threats, department leaders are drawing up lists of what services will be shuttered if a budget deal is not reached and deciding which federal employees will be furloughed until after a compromise is passed. However, most of those plans will not be unveiled until just a few days or even just a few hours before a shutdown occurs, per Office of Personnel Management rules. We know from past experience that if a shutdown does occur, it will mean furloughs for about half of the Defense Department's civilian workforce. Troops will still be required to report for their regular duty, but their paychecks may be delayed if a shutdown stretches on for a few weeks. Non-essential training and travel would be canceled. Services like base daycare and commissary access could also be shut down until after the budget fight is resolved. Some Veterans Affairs operations will also be closed off during a shutdown, but VA hospitals will see very little change in their normal operations. That's because after the 2013 shutdown, lawmakers began funding all VA medical care a year in advance to avoid potential medical disasters for veterans seeking care. But other services like VA information hotlines and websites, they could go dark until after a budget deal is reached. All of the closures should be publicly laid out by agency officials about a week before a possible shutdown. October 1st is the date by which lawmakers must have a deal on the budget to avoid any of these closures. Some combat veterans who left the military more than 10 years ago have an opportunity to get free medical care coverage regardless of their personal health status, but they have to contact the Department of Veterans Affairs in the next 2 weeks to be eligible. The coverage is part of the benefits included in the PACT Act, signed into law in August 2022. That bill is best known for dramatically increasing available disability payouts for veterans suffering from a host of injuries tied to burn pit smoke, Agent Orange exposure, and other military toxic exposure issues. But the bill also included an extension of VA medical care coverage for veterans who served in Iraq and Afghanistan. Any veterans who left the military within the last 10 years are eligible and can contact their local VA medical center to see what care they can sign up for. But individuals who served in those countries and left the service between 2001 and 2013 can also reach out to the department to get extra medical care eligibility. VA leaders have been using public service campaigns and appearances across the country to get the word out on this, in hopes of getting as many veterans as possible to sign up. Their hope is that individuals who enroll will be able to get checked out for a host of potential burn pit illnesses and receive the preventative care they need to stave off serious medical problems in the future. Veterans have until the end of this month to take care of that. Interested veterans should visit va.gov for more information on how to sign up. From Military Times, I'm Leo Shane.